Good afternoon, all of you. So we'll start with a new topic today. Orofacial pain. Okay, I think third years are not here, so I'm recording the class. I'll upload it. What do you mean by pain? Can anyone answer? Dipti Kumari. Dipti Kumari. Dipti Kumari, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yes. What is pain? Whatever you understand by it, tell me. This is not exam. Just a healthy discussion. So tell me, what do you mean by pain? बोलो. नहीं हो यहाँ पे?
Sir,
हाँ, tell me.
sir, pain is a sensation that
Speak loudly. I'm not asking exact definition. Tell me whatever you understand by pain. जो भी आप समझते हो बोलो.
pain is a sensation.
What kind of sensation? Good or bad? Pleasant, unpleasant?
Sir, unpleasant.
Unpleasant sensation. Ankita, can you add something to it? Ankita Rajput,
Yes, sir.
can you add something to it? She said that pain is an unpleasant sensation. Can you add anything else to it?
Sir, unpleasant emotional experience.
Unpleasant and emotional experiences. Pragya? Pragya Sharma. Where did she go? Yes. Pragya Sharma.
Sir, pain is unpleasant sensation conveyed by neurons to the brain.
Okay. Do you think it is good or bad for us?
Sir, sometimes good and
Yes, and sometimes bad. So
Yes.
when it is good and when it is bad?
Sir, as it is unpleasant feeling, so it is good, bad for patients and good to know that
Noman? Noman Sheikh, where are you? Mohammed
Yes, sir.
Noman. Ah. What do you understand by pain? Is pain good for us or bad for us? आपको क्या लगता है?
Yes, sir. Hello.
हाँ, पेन अच्छा है या बुरा है? Is pain good for us or is it bad for us?
Bad, sir.
Bad. Why it is bad? Means why do you feel it is bad?
Sir, because it cause in problem in a temporomandibular joint disorder can cause.
Temporomandibular joint pain will have. You may have backache. You may have pain when your girlfriend leaves you, isn't it? When she doesn't call for the whole night, you might have pain. Right? You might fall down from your bike and then also you may have pain. So what, Sheetal?
Yes, sir.
Sheetal Raghuvanshi. Where are you? शीतल रघुवंशी. हाँ बोलो.
यस सर.
बोलो. पेन अच्छा है बुरा है?
सर पेन अच्छा नहीं होता है. सर पेन इज नॉट गुड.
आप सपोज करो अगर दुनिया में पेन नहीं होता तो क्या होता? अच्छा होता बुरा होता? Sonal Puri, what is your opinion? Suppose if
Yes,
there was no
sir.
pain in this world, then how this world would have been?
So अच्छा ही होता.
अच्छा ही होता. अब सोचो कि आपका हाथ खराब हो रहा है ना, उसमें गैंग्रीन डेवलप हो
sir.
रहा है और
Yes,
आपको
sir.
पेन नहीं होगा, तो आप क्या करोगे? डॉक्टर को जाके दिखाओगे?
Sir, no, sir.
नहीं, नहीं सोचा अच्छा कल दिखा लेंगे, कल दिखा लेंगे, कल दिखा लेंगे. नहीं.
No, no, sir. According to medically, sir, pain is good because sir वो बता देता है कि वहाँ पे there is something wrong with our any organ or part.
Yes, correct. So pain is definitely unpleasant. None of us, nobody, maybe me, you, whoever in this world, nobody wants to have pain, right? Be it any kind of pain. And of course, what you say that the world would have been much better place if there was no pain, but it would have been much worse place also because pain is kind of a defense mechanism. जैसे आप गाड़ी चलाते हो और जब आपकी गाड़ी खराब होनी शुरू होती है तो उसमें से आवाज आती है डक 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 डक, तो आपको एक इंडिकेशन मिलता है कि मेरी गाड़ी खराब हो रही है और आप उसे जाके ठीक कराते हो. इमेजिन अगर वो आवाज नहीं आए तो क्या होगा? आप बीच रास्ते पे अटके रहोगे. So it is the same thing with the pain. So pain is unpleasant, definitely. It is bad, it hurts, but it is good in the sense that it is a kind of defense mechanism. It tells you that in your body there is something wrong, either in your body or in your mind or in your emotions. There is something wrong which you need to address, right? You need to address it and set it right. If you do not address it then and there or set it right then and there, the consequences are bad. Like what happens in cancers, right? Most of the time cancer patients will not have pain unless until the nerves are secondarily involved. Means there is a nerve is involved, nerve is damaged, then only the patient will have pain. By the time he develops pain, it has already so much damage has been done. Correct? Are you getting it? What I want to say? आप
Yes,
समझ
sir.
रहे हो? Yes, है ना? So pain is a defense mechanism. That's why we are having pain should be there. और सोच करो अगर पेन नहीं होता तो आपको इतना बड़ा डेंटल कॉलेज होता क्या? आप पढ़ रहे थे यहाँ पे? किससे फर्क पड़ रहा है? कौन आता आपकी क्लिनिक पे, कौन आता हमारे कॉलेज में, कौन आता मेरी क्लिनिक पे? आप क्यों डेंटिस्ट्री कर रहे होते? दिस इज जस्ट I'm simply I'm telling. This is not academics. Okay? So let's see what is pain. Pain, there is one definition which is given by medical dictionary. No need to write it. It is a more or less localized sensation of discomfort, distress, or agony resulting from the stimulation of a specialized nerve endings. It serves as a protective mechanism in so far as it induces the sufferer to remove or withdraw from the source. Right? This is what you all said. That pain is discomfort, it is distress, it is emotional problem, isn't it? And some of you also said that it is carried by neurons to the brain. It is kind of sensation, but it is a protective mechanism which induces the sufferer to remove or withdraw from the source. Otherwise, we will keep inflicting injuries to our body and ourselves. So if you say it is more of like experience than a sensation, and it does have a sensory dimension, I'll skip all these things. It is more akin to a need status, means something needs to be addressed, and it occurs for non-noxious stimuli as well as spontaneously. I'll not discuss this. So write down this definition of pain. Pain in an unpleasant sensory and emotional experience with actual or potential tissue damage or described in terms of some damage. Means this definition is very important, and whenever they ask you any question comes regarding pain, anything, then you have to write this definition of pain. This is given by International Association of Study of Pain, IASP. This definition has been given by IASP. It is an important definition, universally accepted and worldwide used. Pain is an unpleasant sensory and emotional experience with actual or potential tissue damage or described in terms of some damage. You know, when some definitions are given and those definitions are accepted by the entire scientific community, means that definitions define or explains the entire nature of that disease or the process, whatever it defines, whatever it may be, like law. So if you define pain, means like you said, pain is what? It is an unpleasant sensation. It is sensory, means sometimes you will feel it. You will feel that you are having pain in your hand. You will feel you are having headache. You will have a feeling in the stomach ache, and or emotional experience. Whenever you have sensory pain, you will have some emotional disturbance, but sometimes it may be only emotional pain. Suppose, like what I said, a friend of yours or your parents or your colleagues, your siblings, somebody you love dearly, and you expect him to call or you expect him to meet somewhere, or somehow you have a fight, you have a breakup. Those instances you have a pain, we call it emotional pain, and there will be so many such instances. आपने पापा से कुछ मांगा, नहीं मिला तो आप रो रहे हो, आपको मम्मा ने डांट दिया, आपके फ्रेंड ने चिल्ला दिया, आपको टीचर ने चिल्ला दिया, आपका कोई कोटा पूरा नहीं हुआ, आज आप कहीं जाने वाले थे, आपकी ट्रेन मिस हो गई. So there are so many things which are giving you pain, which pain is not sensory, means you are not actually in your body, you are not having any problem, but emotionally you are feeling that pain. So this is what the second word means. It is a sensory pain, it is an emotional experience also, with actual tissue damage. Many times you will have the damage to your tissue, means your hand has been cut, you are suffering from some disease, or any kind of tissue damage. There are so many examples. Whenever we have some pain inside body, outside body, outside means with superficial, you can see sometimes visceral pain is there inside your body. That time you have actual tissue damage, and sometimes you have potential tissue damage. Potential means something may happen if the such substance continues. It may happen, like I bring a gun and put on your head. So now you have a fear that you'll be shot dead, no, or somebody puts a knife on your neck. So there is a chances that there will be a damage to the tissue, or you are bringing your hand close to the fire, you see that fire all around you. So there is no actual tissue damage there. There is a potential tissue damage. There is chances of damage occurring, but you are having pain there, correct? And so there is it is an emotion, unpleasant sensory and or emotional experience with actual or potential tissue damage, or described in terms of such damage. Means I describe, I have emotional pain, I have a suppression, I have a depression, I have anxiety, I am nervous, and I say that my hand is damaged. I am having pain in my hand, I am having pain in my headache, my whole body is aching. So sometimes there may be nothing, but we will describe in terms of such damage. So this definition encompasses the entire character of the pain. So it is an important definition. I hope you understood what now. That pain is an unpleasant sensory and emotional experience with actual or potential tissue damage, or described in terms of some such damage. Okay, so this is what is definition of the pain. And like I told you in the first definition here, that here what they write, that it serves as a protective mechanism in so far it induces the sufferer to remove or withdraw from the source. Okay. Now we come to classification of pain. Most elementary classification of pain, I think you know this is very well. Head and neck pain, which will have orofacial pain, headache and cervical pain. Then thoracic pain, abdominal pain, extremity pain, etc. So based on the location where the pain is occurring, you can classify pain into different types of pain. I'll go to further classification. I will not go to this classification. I'm not going to this classification. Yes, I'll go to this classification. All the pain are defined into two types. I told you that pain has both components, sensory and emotional. It has both sensory and emotional component. So it has two factors or two axes on which the pain is described. Like you have in graph, you have x-axis and y-axis. You would have seen, whenever you draw a plot, you draw x-axis and y-axis, right? So anything which is drawn on this, it shows both the axes. Like if you describe, say, suppose the current thing you take COVID. So if we describe the rise and fall of COVID, we describe in the terms of time that from Jan, right, Jan to May, what is the condition, right? And from 0 case to say 10,000 cases, correct? So we described in such a way that cases have rise, they fall again they rose, and again they are rising high. Now they have come to a plateau. So when I see a case here, I describe in terms of time and I describe in terms of number. It has two axes, y-axis and x-axis, right? So pain also is described in both the axes. That these two axes are, one is the physical factors, another is the emotional or psychological factors, right? Every physical pain has associated psychological pain. Sometimes when we describe the pain, so sometimes we describe the pain so if suppose this is psychological factors, right? And this is physical factors, then sometimes there will be more of physical and less of psychological. Some person's pain may be more of psychological and less of physical. So I can plot a graph here, right? So suppose somebody had a breakup, right, with your boyfriend or girlfriend or whoever. So you'll have more of psychological pain than less of physical pain. And somebody fell from bike, so he will have more of physical pain and less of psychological pain. Now somebody fell from bike and his girlfriend did not come to see him, so he will have more of physical pain and the psychological pain. That means we are describing pain in both the terms, no? Physical factors and the psychological factors. The physical factors are included are cutaneous and mucogingival pain, then the muscular pain of the mucosal pain of pharynx, nose, and paranasal sinuses. Understand that I am talking only about pains of orofacial region. Okay, pain of the muscular structure of the mouth and face, and pain of the neural structures of mouth and face. These are the physical factors or the physical part of the pain or axis one. The other part is anxiety disorders, mood disorders, somatoform disorders, and other such as psychological factors, including medical conditions. 1 second, please. Okay, I'm sorry. So we'll move ahead now. So axis 1 physical pain can be described into physical conditions. Try to write down this definition in a tabular way. That is, write down here pain. You have here axis 1, okay, and axis 2. Axis 1 is physical, axis 2 is neurological or psychological. Okay, axis 1, the first is, right, first is somatic pain, okay, and the second is neuropathic pain. Okay, so in axis 1 we have somatic pain and we have neuropathic pain. Okay, this is pain classified into two factors based on two axes, physical axis and the psychological axis. In physical axis, we have two axes again, somatic pain and the neuropathic pain. Means somatic, I think you know what do mean by somatic structures. All these tissues are somatic structures, right? And except nerve tissues, and the nerve things are the neuropathic pain. So pain because of damage to your tissue, normal muscles, skin, connective tissue, or bones, those are all somatic pain. And then those are the other types of pain attached with only nerves. You are not seeing any physical change, only physiologic change in the nerves are there. Those are called as the neuropathic pains. So in somatic pain, we have superficial somatic pain and you have deep somatic pain, right? Superficial somatic pain is cutaneous and mucogingival pain. It's pain on the skin and the mucosa. Those are the superficial somatic pain. So here again we have right. So we have somatic pain and we have neuropathic pain. In somatic pain, we have first superficial somatic, then deep somatic, and then third we have visceral pain. Okay, superficial somatic, then deep somatic, musculoskeletal pain where the muscles are delayed, muscle pain or the TMJ pain. Okay, then we have visceral pain. Visceral pain we'll have pulpal pain in the tooth, vascular pains in the arteritis, carotidynia, sometimes the carotid pain you will have, and neurovascular migraine, cluster headache, neurovascular pain, visceral mucosal pain, etc. Okay. Then we come to neuropathic pain. In neuropathic pain, we have episodic neuropathic pains. Okay. So neuropathic pain in this classification, we will have two types. Episodic pain or paroxysmal pain means which come and go. They will come for certain duration, then there will be no pain, and then again one certain pain will come. Like how you have epilepsy. All of you have read epilepsy. The epilepsy gives attacks. There will be episode of epilepsy. Then the person will find again after some time or some days or some months there will be another episode of epilepsy. Same way are the episodic or the paroxysmal pains. Right? They come, then the person is pain free. Then again there is a pain. While there are some pains which are continuous. Person is continuously having pain. Okay. So in this we have episodic neuropathic pains. Those pains are right. For example, trigeminal neuralgia, glossopharyngeal neuralgia, geniculate ganglion neuralgia. Okay, and then we have continuous pain like in neuritis, differentiation pain. Like a patient has got a tooth removed and the nerve has been damaged, and now the patient will continuously have pain in that area. Those are the continuous neuropathic pains. Okay, so this is the classification of pain. Axis 1, axis 2, axis 1 will be somatic and neurovascular. Okay, neuropathic. In the neuropathic somatic, we'll have superficial somatic, deep superficial somatic, deep somatic, and then you will have visceral pain. In neuropathic, you will have episodic neuropathic and the continuous neuropathic. Now we come to axis 2, that is psychological pain. Here you will have mood disorders, anxiety disorders. Okay, then you have somatoform disorders and other conditions. Okay, so we remember at least two: mood and anxiety disorders, anxiety, depression, bipolar diseases. All these are associated with the pain. So this is the classification of pain. I'll move ahead. Okay, I am not doing all this classification. Okay. No, there are four things. I'll skip this. All this is not required for you. I'll talk in brief about these things. So how does the pain originate? The genesis of pain. So not all pains are alike. All the pain are not same. Okay. There are several types of pain can be. Clinical versus experimental pain means pain is present and experimental is something you did because of which the pain has occurred, which you usually see in the clinics. You check for the tenderness on percussion or something like that. Then you have acute versus chronic pain. Acute is always of a shorter duration. Chronic is of a longer duration. Anything which is present since long time is a chronic disease or chronic pain. And anything which occurs faster, usually acute pain. Acute pains are usually more sharp, more painful. Their intensity is usually high. While chronic pains are usually dull, aching. Their intensity is less, not as sharp and severe as the acute pain. Then primary versus secondary pain. There is something has happened to your hand over here. It is fractured over here. That's why I'm having pain. This is primary pain. And or there is cut I have got and then I have got a pain. So that the cut pain because of that cut is the primary pain. While in that cut the infection developed, now I have got a big abscess over there because I did not take care of it. So that is a secondary pain. The pain occurred secondarily because the infection developed secondarily in this because of the cut mark. Okay, I hope you understood. These are very simple languages. I'll leave all this. What is referred pain? Referred pain means there is a pain in the tooth and you feel pain in some other tooth. Means the pain from one area usually referred to another area. Usually it happens because of the same nerve or the closely associated nerves closely traveling to each other are supplying those areas. So sometimes the pain in the tooth will be felt in the TMJ, in the entire head. The pain in the heart means not your heartbreak heart, the myocardial infarction pain that is felt in the hand or in the jaws. Okay. So you have to be careful if you're seeing a patient having severe jaw pain and no symptoms, think about the cardiac problems also. Okay. Similarly, and pain is usually when it is referred, it is usually referred above the level, not below. Pain is referred above, not below. So that is what is known as referred pain. Then you have stimulus evoked pain and spontaneous pain. Means something has occurred. You have got burnt, you got cut, somebody hit you, you fractured your leg. Those are stimulus. Some stimulus is there. That's why the pain is there. Or trigeminal neuralgia also sometimes the stimulus has to touch, then the pain will occur. And sometimes pain occurs on its own. So that is called as the spontaneous pain. Somatic and neuropathic pain, I think I have already discussed. Superficial and deep somatic pain also we have discussed. Musculoskeletal and visceral pain, I think you understand all these things, so I'm not going to talk about all those. Based on origin, the pain can be inflammatory or non-inflammatory. Non-inflammatory pains are like musculoskeletal pain, visceral pain, neuropathic pain. Okay, and same thing are being repeatedly coming, so I am removing them. So we come to orofacial pain diagnosis. So diagnosis of pain is important. Till you diagnose, you are not able to treat. We have to know why this pain is occurring, what is the reason for this pain, and then only we can treat a person. So you have to accurately identify the location of the pain. You have to establish the correct pain category. That means it is which kind of pain, axis 1 pain or axis 2 pain. And then once you have established that, then further which pain disorder is there. Means first to decide where is the pain. Second, decide what type of pain, physical pain or psychosomatic pain, or both. Or if both, then which component is more. Sometimes people with small pain will have such a severe expression, will feel so irritating. Itna bhi kya hai, kya pittar ho rahe ho? And some people with severe pain will be very normal. So you have to identify which category, where does it lie on both the axes, and then which particular pain disorder is present. Okay. So pain, for how do we do this? We achieve it by 4 things: the history, clinical examination. Okay. After that, you establish a diagnosis or a provisional diagnosis or working diagnosis. I have done these 2. Based on these 2, I come to a conclusion that this may be a disease X, Y, or Z. Then I have to confirm it. So what do? We undertake various types of investigation, either chairside investigation or imaging or some other modalities. Right, so you might get some blood investigation done, you might get some swabbing done, you might get some biopsy done, you might get some, that will help you in confirming the diagnosis of the pain. Okay. So what all we'll do in the history, same, you have to take the chief complaint. I think this will be discussed in your, sorry, you people are not coming. So if you come, we will discuss it in the what you call that, clinical classes. So you have to have location of pain, where is the pain present, onset of pain, means how did it occur, is it associated with something else, how does it progress, then character of the pain, means what is the quality of the pain, what is the temporal nature of the pain, means what happens with the time, is it continuous, is it intermittent, what is the frequency, if it is changing, it is not continuous, then how frequently it occurs, every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes, every half an hour, every 1 hour, every day, every month, and once it comes, for how much duration does it last. Okay. Then what is the intensity, mild, moderate, severe, you have to find out. What are concomitant with other symptoms, does the patient get fever along with it, does the patient start feeling malaise, does he get chills along with it, does he develop some swelling along with it, does he get fits with it, does it feel delusion, does he feel hallucinations or some aura, lighting, all those things have to be checked. What happens along with the pain, and how does the pain flow, means does it remain continuous or gradually increases, decreases, or it suddenly stops. All those things are important in taking history. what are the aggravating and relieving factors? No, means how does the pain increase and how does it decrease? It may be some physical modalities. I went to the light. I sat near the fire. Okay, I'm sorry, children. So you have to find out the aggravating and relieving factors, functions as like trigeminal neuralgia. You all would know that it aggravates with the breeze of air or washing the face, so or touching the trigger areas, right? Sometimes for relieving medications, like in trigeminal neuralgia, if you see the NSAIDs do not work, so that helps us gives any diagnosis. If the pain is getting released by the NSAID, means it is not trigeminal neuralgia. So all these things had to be assessed. Sometimes with increased emotional stress, migraine will develop. Patient will start having some migraine. What past consultation has been done? What treatment has been done? Any relationship with other complaints means there is a swelling and then the pain develops, something like that. Past medical history, entire review of system, the normal case history format has to be done, and psychological assessment is important in the cases of pain. You have to look at the patient's face, study patient's face quietly, clearly, see, try to assess, try to talk into आपके घर में कौन है, क्या करते हैं, कौन कौन है, कैसा behavior है, पैसे की income कैसी है. If you feel somebody is dominating it sitting with the patient, the lady patients, no, her husband or son, who is trying to not let her talk, send that person out. बोले कि आप बाहर बैठ जाइए, then you talk to person, because in front of that person patient will not talk. If your colleagues are standing there, remove them. You talk to patient in alone, or let there be one patient, one person sitting there whom you confide. The patient should have faith in you that first you are going to listen to her, understand him or her. Second thing, you are not going to convey what is being conveyed to you. ऐसा नहीं कि उसने बोला कि ये हस्बैंड मुझे मारता और आपने उसको हस्बैंड बोल दिया कि तुम भाई इसको क्यों मारते हो, क्यों चिल्लाते हो, तुम क्या समझते हो, जोश में आके बोल दिया, वो घर जाके उसको और कुटाई कर दी और स्थिति खराब हो गई. So you have to handle things properly. You have to take patient into confidence and then talk, do the counseling and assess. Psychological assessment has to be done. There are so many forms available. If you see the net, there are so many standard stress and anxiety assessment forms or questionnaires are available. The sleep assessment forms are available, which help you in diagnosing that, doing patient psychological assessment. Those questions seem simple, but they give lot of indication. There are scorings given on those questions. So questionnaires, based on those scorings, you can assess how much psychological problem the patient has, and it is very important to do that. Okay. I'm skipping all these things. This is not going to be helpful much. If the class discontinues, join back on the same this thing. What do you call that? Same link.
Yes, sir.
We'll come to general consideration in management of pain. I'll stop the class and we'll rejoin.